Usually in this day and age, mobile games are typically, well, not very good. With the immense saturation of the mobile gaming market, 90% of games go dead in under a week because they are almost always bland and unfun to play, with even more blander ads. So when game developers on the mobile gaming market make the most blandest game ever and turn it into a horror game, what is the result? Is it the most scary experience you will ever play in your life, or is it simply just another garbage title that isn't scary in any way? Well, here at Funny Fart Corporations, that's what I tend to figure out. So get your popcorn out, boys, because in this video, we're gonna be exploring even more bad mobile horror games. Before I start, I do want to stop and appreciate everyone that is subscribed to the channel, as we are currently at 2,750 subscribers as of writing this video. Thank you everyone for this, and I predict in a month span we'll be getting to 3K. But other than that, let's get started. The first game we're going to be playing is Train 666, and suffice to say, this game is really boring. Looking at the App Store, this game has about 27 ratings that rounds up to a 3.3 on the App Store. And an honorable mention to this review right here saying that he got a virus on his phone for playing Train 666. On my first playthrough, I was immediately lost and was wondering where I was supposed to go. Every area led to an invisible barrier except for the train track. I assumed this is where I was supposed to go, but as it turns out it's not, and I fell out of the map. The player in this game is extremely slow, and getting somewhere as simple as point A to B just feels like a chore to do. Once I restarted the game, I figured out that there was this little door you can go through in the train, and then I proceeded to enter it. Now the player assumes that he's on a normal train, but he's actually on a train that is full of spooky monsters. Thankfully though, they can't hurt you in any way, and you can even go through some. The gameplay is about walking around the train until you witness very scary jump scares, while your character moves at negative Mach 5. There's not really much to say about this game other than that you walk in an endless train for 10 minutes. You get to see a lot of ghosts like these, and this. After about 10 minutes, you can finally leave the train, only to realize that the place is on fire. Oh noes! It wasn't really obvious where to go from here, as I couldn't jump anywhere. So I just decided that I should go under this train and... Oh, okay. Overall, this game was pretty scary. Okay, but seriously, there was barely any gameplay involved and the jump scares were extremely mediocre. And if someone says in the reviews that they got a virus from the game, then I think it's safe to say that you should not play this game in any way. Well, bye-bye Train 666. Let's move on to the next game. The next game we're going to be playing is Clown Neighbor Escape, where a really scary clown is in your neighborhood, so you need to go into his house and commit vandalism in order to beat the video game. According to the ratings on the App Store, all of the 40 ratings made the game get a 4.4, which is well above average. One of the 5-star reviews is this one, by Richie Tozer. I'll let you read this review on your own because it's just gold. Anyways, back to Clown Neighbor Escape. The story is that your new neighbor is a suspicious clown, and you decide to figure out what's wrong with him. Find the key and open the door to the second section of the house. Obviously, when we see a clown rent a very rich mansion, our first instinct is that he's suspicious and we need to figure out what is wrong with him. Once I started the game, I immediately went to other houses around the neighborhood to test out the controls. You can duck, jump, and throw objects around the map, unlike the last game. But the lighting in this game is really poor and the graphics are even poorer. But low graphics doesn't exclude the game from being bad. Let's see if the game is actually really good. Okay, maybe it's not as good as I thought it was. When you start the game, there are a number of levels that you have to go through. Of course, starting out with level 1. One of the main things that is holding me back from continuing to play this game is that Clown Neighbor Escape completely bombards you with ads. I stated this in previous reviews, but this game makes you watch ads during gameplay, and hitting certain buttons punishes you with 30-second ads. I eventually completed level 1, which was supposed to be finding a key to access another part of the house. But I just couldn't be bothered to play this game anymore because any button I pressed resulted in an ad. I turned the Wi-Fi off and the ads kept coming. Screw you, Clown Neighborhood Escape. Let's move on to the next game. The third game we're going to be playing is Last Night at Horror. Now, I'm going to be real with you, although this game isn't scary in any way and has countless flaws, which I'll be talking about later, this game was a lot of fun. At the beginning of the game, you get into a vehicle and you start driving around the map trying to find a spooky mansion. And even though the controls weren't that responsive, it was a fun way to start the game out. A minute after we started driving around the area, you get attacked by a spooky monster, and we arrive at the spooky mansion. Once we go inside the mansion, our goal for the next 15 minutes of the game is to find 7 notes. And if that sounds familiar to you? Yeah, it is. This game is basically using the Slenderman formula, but it does have a couple of things that makes it stand out. For one, there's a freaking gun that you can use and shoot monsters with. There's also a full-on inventory, ammo you can pick up, medkits, and even a shotgun, which we'll get to later. Around the map are monsters you can shoot and kill. They're extremely slow, but also really tanky, taking up to 6 shots in the face to kill. Each item has an option. You can either equip, use, or destroy for some reason. Some nuts are either point blank right in front of you, or in a locked off room that you need to unlock in order to get it. Speaking of unlocking doors, this game has keys. Lots, and lots of keys. For some reason, all of them look the exact same, and when you pick it up, it just says the door has been unlocked. And now to the flaws of the game. This game is extremely dependent on just jump scares to keep you frightened. It will just be jump scare after jump scare after jump scare, never letting down and continuing to make spooky stock sound effects. There was also a point in the game where I completely fell from the map because of hyper optimization. And finally, the shotgun. Not only does it look like it was ripped off straight from the Left 4 Dead 2 animation, but the shotgun doesn't deal that much damage, and for some reason fires 1 pellet at a time. It was fun to use, but you instantly lose your gun because this room holds the last note card. After getting the card, there is this exit door that you can go through, and you beat the game. Overall, this game has a lot of potential to be a decent game to play in your free time, but the cons definitely seem to be overweighing the pros. Let's see what the next game has to offer. The fourth game we're going to be playing is Dead Eyes, which features very scary wolves, anime characters, and spooky snow. Observing the App Store, this game has 14 ratings with 3 out of 5 stars. This review is saying that the controls don't work and that it's frustrating, and this one is saying it's amazing 10 out of 10. I'll let you choose who's telling the truth. The game starts with a cutscene of a plane crashing. You crash somewhere in the Arctic regions. The goal for right now is to follow the blood trail while we take in the spooky atmosphere. After about 5 minutes of walking around, you can see an anime character wounded and a dialogue scene appears.
I was trying to escape this place. I don't know what's happening to me. I thought you were dead. And what's worse, that beast is coming back. We're both dead. It attacked me once, and now it's coming back for more. Take the gun. It's our only chance. Tap enemy to shoot.
After that epic dialogue scene, we have to kill 5 wolves with a large gun. It's fairly easy, but the only problem is that the wolves clip into the snow, being almost completely hidden. Thankfully, this game has checkpoints, so if you die, you'll restart somewhere close to where you were. Anyways, after we kill the 5 wolves, the anime man turns into a spooky monster, and we shoot him.
Ooh, now I'm feeling big, ouchie!
Thankfully though, before he died, he gave us a key to go into the hotel. But before we go there, we have to shoot again more wolves. Once we get into the very high graphic hotel, we shortly realize that it's abandoned. After about 5 minutes again wandering around, another anime character appears and is trapped in a spooky dungeon. Although this is a hotel, I don't know why they would have dungeons. And this person has yet another dialogue scene.
I need your help, but we need to stay quiet. After the crash, I woke up here. Please help me. I tried to unlock the door, but there's no key. Please help me before they come back.
Like the funny anime guy said, we need to get a key, where you need to go all the way back from the start, just to grab it and then go all the way back again. It's very clear that this is padding, and it doesn't help that a spooky monster is constantly playing jump scares and for some reason sinks into the ground. Anyways, we open the door, yippee, but then she gets kidnapped again, so we go rescue her, and then we shoot her. Wow. For the last game, I thought it would be appropriate for us to get into the Christmas mood. So for the next game, we're going to be playing Santa Horror. For footage recording's sake, I put this on easy mode. And now I'm in the game. About 30 seconds into the game, I noticed that the map layout is just the possessed school from Slinky Tubbies 3, so we're already off to a good start. In this game, you need to find 10 pictures and escape the school for good, while Santa Claus wanders around the map. You can crouch in this game to hide from a spooky Santa, which is a nice touch, but the character in this game also moves extremely slow, just like Train Horror 3D. But this time you can sprint, although you still be fairly slow. An interesting mechanic in this game is that you can survey cameras and watch as Santa walks around the school. At first I was rather confused on what to do, since I didn't really know what the paper looked like. There were candy canes in the game, but the grammar was so utterly poor that I didn't really know what their use was. Eventually, I saw what I was supposed to grab. Keyword, supposed to. Because no matter how many times I clicked it, it just wouldn't let me grab it. This happens on the cameras too, not being able to activate it for whatever reason. So unless there was some sort of deeper meaning behind this is the only game in the entry that I did not complete. You probably wouldn't miss out on much. The game would probably just end with a stock image of the school exploding in the background. And that's all the horror games we're going to be playing today. Thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned as I plan to make more of these videos in the future. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm very close to 3,000 subscribers, so it would be very nice to hit that milestone by the end of 2021. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in the next video.